In the shadows of history, there are moments when the quiet strength of the overlooked shatters the thunder of the mighty. These are the tales that remind us true power isn't in the shout, but in the skill that silences it. Today we uncover an untold chapter from the elite world of Navy SEALs, a story of defiance, expertise, and the humbling force of humility. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button now and join our community for more gripping stories that inspire courage every day. Picture this. It's the early 2000s, deep in the rugged terrain of a classified training base in the California desert. The sun beats down like a relentless enemy, turning the air into a haze of dust and determination. Here, among the world's toughest warriors, stands Lieutenant Commander Marcus Hale, the SEAL team leader known for his iron fist and unyielding ego. Hale was a legend in his own mind, tall, broad-shouldered, with a voice that could command storms. He'd risen through the ranks on sheer bravado, barking orders that brooked no argument. His team respected him out of fear, not admiration. In this unit, he'd boast, only the strong survive, and I'm the strongest. But beneath that bluster lurked a flaw, arrogance that blinded him to the talents of those he deemed beneath him.
Enter Petty Officer Elena Vasquez, a quiet force in a sea of noise. Elena wasn't your typical SEAL recruit. She was one of the first women to integrate into special operations support roles, a helicopter pilot by training with a background in aviation that could make eagles jealous. Raised in a small Texas town by a single father who was a Vietnam vet, she'd learned to fly crop dusters before she could drive. Her skills were razor sharp, honed in simulations and real-world evacuations, but she kept them close, speaking only necessary. In Hale's eyes, she was just the support, there to fetch gear or handle logistics, not to lead or shine. The team whispered about her, how she moved with the precision of a shadow, never seeking the spotlight. But Hale dismissed her outright, once sneering in a briefing, "Women like you are here to assist, not to act." The tension simmered like a fuse, waiting for a spark. The conflict ignited during a high-stakes exercise simulating a downed aircraft in hostile territory. The scenario was brutal. Extract a wounded operative from a mock crash site using whatever means available. Hale's team had botched the initial approach, their primary chopper grounded by enemy fire, a rigged malfunction for the drill. Stranded with a secondary helo, an older model Black Hawk that required specialized handling, Hale paced like a caged lion. His face reddened as he realized none of his core operators had the exact certification for this bird. "This is unacceptable," he roared, his voice echoing across the barren landscape. The team froze, sweat mixing with the grit on their faces. In a fit of frustration, Hale spun toward the group, his eyes blazing. "Can anyone fly this damn thing? Speak up, or we're all failures today." Silence hung heavy, broken only by the wind whipping through the rotors. The men shifted uncomfortably, knowing Hale's wrath would fall on them. Elena stood at the edge, her heart steady, her mind calculating the controls she'd mastered years ago. This was her moment, not for glory, but for necessity. As the seconds stretched, Elena stepped forward, her boots crunching softly on the sand. "I can, sir," she said, her voice calm and clear, cutting through the tension like a blade. Hale whipped around, his expression twisting from anger to disbelief. "You? The logistics girl? Don't waste my time, Vasquez." But she didn't flinch. With a nod from the observing instructor, rules were rules, she climbed into the cockpit. The team watched, breaths held, as she flipped switches with effortless precision. The engine hummed to life, a low growl building to a roar. Hale crossed his arms, smirking, expecting failure. In under a minute, Elena lifted off smoothly, banking the helo in a tight arc that defied the model's quirks. She executed a flawless hover, then set it down with the gentleness of a feather.
The rotors whined to a stop, and silence enveloped the group, a stunned, absolute quiet that spoke volumes. The shock wave hit Hale like a physical blow. His face drained of color, the smirk vanishing as he stared at the helo, then at Elena descending from the cockpit. The team erupted in murmurs, eyes wide with awe. "Did you see that?" one whispered. "She made it look easy." Hale stammered, trying to regain composure. That was luck," he muttered, but his voice cracked, the authority crumbling. And senior observer, Captain Reyes, stepped in, his tone stern. "Luck, that's skill, Commander. Skill you overlooked because of your pride." Reyes turned to Elena. "Vasquez, report to me later. We need more like you." Hale's shoulder slumped. For the first time he looked small, exposed. The bystanders, fellow SEALs and support staff, stood in a reverent hush, the air thick with a newfound respect. One operator clapped Elena on the back, saying, "You've just rewritten the rules." In that instant, the base's hierarchy shifted. Hale's abuse of power, his belittling of talent based on ego and bias, had been defeated, not by force, but by quiet competence. This wasn't just a training win, it was a moral reckoning. Elena's act taught a timeless lesson. Arrogance blinds, but virtue, true skill tempered with humility, illuminates. Hale had wielded his position like a weapon, dismissing those he saw as lesser, but Elena's rise showed that real strength lies in recognizing everyone's potential. Respect isn't demanded, it's earned through actions that uplift, not undermine. In the aftermath, Hale faced a quiet demotion in influence. His team began questioning his orders, seeking Elena's input instead. She didn't gloat, she mentored, sharing her knowledge freely. "Control comes from within," she told a young recruit later that day, her words simple yet profound. "Dignity isn't about being the loudest, it's about being the steadiest." The event rippled through the unit, fostering a culture where skill trumped status and abuse of power became a cautionary tale. It's a reminder for all of us in any field, from battlefields to boardrooms. Overreaching pride invites downfall, while quiet excellence commands eternal loyalty. Years later, that dusty day in the desert evolved into legend. Elena Vasquez rose through the ranks, becoming one of the Navy's top aviation instructors, training generations of pilots who carried her story forward. Whispers of the silent flight spread through SEAL lore, unofficial histories passed in barracks and briefings, a fable retold to curb egos and celebrate the underdog. Hale? He retired quietly, a changed man, admitting in his memoirs that Elena's moment broke my arrogance and built my wisdom. The incident influenced policy, pushing for more inclusive training that valued diverse skills over outdated biases. Today, in special ops circles, her name evokes nods of respect, a symbol that one act of courage can reshape destinies. And Elena's final wisdom endures. The sky doesn't care about your title. It only yields to those who respect its laws. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories from Tales of Courage. What do you think? Have you ever witnessed skill, silence, arrogance? Share your thoughts below. And if this story moved you, pass it on to a friend who needs a boost of inspiration. Stay courageous, everyone.